Hi, it's Jacob. The UC system has voted to create and implement its own admissions exam for the next 5 years. Here are the big takeaways. About it was a big deal. Freshmen in 2021 and 22, the system is test optional. It does not mean test blind. If you send them scores, they are going to look at them. And you're still going to need them for scholarships and in-state guaranteed admissions. In 23 and 24, the system will be test blind. This is a really rare move for selective colleges. That said, you're still going to need them for scholarships and in-state guaranteed admissions. Now, in 2025, it's the UC developed test or bust. It's going to be available out of state and at private schools. Non-resident and international students can still submit an ACT or SAT score, but if the UC system does not have a test in place, they're going to go fully test blind. So here's what I think. I think the UC system is really well positioned to address a lot of the big problems in testing. Why? Well, I'm glad you asked. One, it's the most powerful university system in the country, arguably the most egalitarian. It's well funded, talented, and diverse. Two, it has no shortage of students or applicants, so they have the chance to be bold. Three, their race-blind admissions has unintended consequences. They have an under-enrollment of Black and Latino students, over-enrollment of white and Asian students. And they've struggled with that for years, so they're going to really make an earnest attempt to address the racial issues in testing. And finally, the UC system sees the value in testing. Last fall, the faculty senate, after a lengthy review, recommended keeping the testing requirement. The shakeout. I think this is a really big deal. And I think the UC system will have a test in place in this time frame. They want one, and this is a perfect opportunity. I also think there's a lot of money for the system in this. I think that the introduction of a new test hurts the ACT and the SAT long term, but it could help them in the short term. The idea of a new test from a credible player and one of their own, may keep the colleges who have gone test optional temporarily from doing so permanently. Bottom line, this move shows how important testing is to the largest and most diverse university system in the country. Now, this feeling is shared, if not always stated, by most of its peers. Now, ultimately, I have a vested interest in testing. I mean, it's the test guy, it's in the damn name. But I also have a healthy level of disgust with it. That said, I've never bought the argument that test blind admissions are going to lead to better outcomes for poor students. I think what you see with that, with these test optional admissions and those numbers, is institutional led. We're seeing that they're better at institutions that actually care about these students instead of paying lip service to it. And I think that ultimately what you'd have is rich schools, rich high schools, will play the game in different ways, and that admissions may become more of a referendum on the quality of the school and the quality of its personnel. So my belief has always been that educational inequalities are revealed by testing, not necessarily increased. At the end of the day, a test can't fix the real problem. The real problem is students that have more affluent backgrounds with educated parents, better home lives, and better quality schools are always going to outperform as a population. Not necessarily as individuals, but on aggregate, that's going to be the case. If you want to fix that, you have to do more than write a new test. I hope this clears any questions you have up. Feel free to reach out to me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.